Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, you beautiful human beings, guys. It is Monday. It is the wrap up for November, guys. Where has this year gone? We are moving into December. This year is finished. Right now, before you get caught up in all these Black Friday crazes and caught up in spending money, right, remember, the end of the year represents some really amazing trading opportunities for traders, right? We start to see hedge funds get less active. We start to see liquidity providers slow down in the market. We start to see some beautiful price action develop, and it is an exciting time to be alive. Now, again, I'm feeling much better from last week. I had a great weekend, recovered fully. I'm feeling 100% myself today. But more importantly than that, we were working super hard on the Drippy Pips signal service last week. Now, to give you guys a little bit of perspective, we wanted to launch the social area, but we had some delays in the technology on the signal service side, right? Now, just to give you a bit of an idea of the process that happens in the background, a market opportunity passes through multiple eyes before you guys see it in the platform. Now, we had some bugs in terms of that process, that flow, but I can guarantee you, I put my word on it, this week you're about to see absolute fire. We've been testing, we've been making sure we've got some failovers, and you're going to see some absolute fire trades in the Drippy Pip signal area in our social area. Now, if you're not already there, you can jump into the DVDM market social area for free, right? And again, we're going to issue 500 pips. Now, when I talk about 500 pips, guys, I'm talking about 500 pips of currency, not NASDAQ, not US 30, where it's 1,000 pips in a single trade, 500 pips of currency and commodity, right? Which is massive. That is available to you for free. Once we hit that 500 pip cap limit, you'll still see the trades we're taking. However, that'll be limited to premium plus. For less than $1 a day, you get a bunch of value. So I'm super excited for that. I would love to hear you guys' feedback this week. We've been working super hard on it, even though it was not well last week. That was my main priority, was to make sure that in December, for those of you who want to trade, who want to take things seriously, who want to build your account, build your portfolio, and just really get to grips with the market, then you guys are covered, you are sorted. Now, if you don't believe me, go back and have a look at past Decembers, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years in a row. Have a look at how much beautiful price action happens in December. Most people get back into the markets January, February, whatever the case may be, and they look at these moves, these beautiful price action moves that they're missed, right? If you don't want to miss that, you're in the right place. We will be trading with you throughout December. This is what it's all about. This is Pounds of Breakfast. My name is Dane van der Mast, otherwise known as DVDM. Let's jump into it. Let's get into what is happening in the world and what you need to know in the next 5 minutes and so much more. Right, now I have posted an article into our social area, right? So if you haven't got that one already, I've posted the link to the article we are going to be discussing this morning. Jump in, read that, go and vote, tell me what your thoughts, what your theories are there. But in essence, the world's busy asking, will this rally continue, right? Now, if you missed last week's video, you guys remember I posted a video last week speaking about, you know, where are we busy going in the markets and how I'm fairly bullish across the board from an indices perspective, right? In terms of that weaker dollar, that stronger indice commodity currency market across the board. Now, I will jump into that. I'm going to show you that thoughts in a bit of a deeper view, but just to show you guys what happened on Friday, and generally speaking, now this is a really great potential trade opportunity, or at least a little bit of an insight for those of you who don't really enjoy trading Fridays. Now, I generally don't, because Fridays we generally see a reversal of the previous week. And I did say in last week's video, and as we were speaking about it in Friday, is that, you know, we're going to see, can we claw back some of those gains that we saw markets push through on Friday. Now, we did issue a US 100 trade, a NASDAQ sell position on Friday. Because it's Friday, we're obviously being a little bit cautious. As soon as we went to 200 or 100 pips of profit, we put our stop loss at entry. It went back into entry, and then markets obviously moved there on after. But across the board, we saw some few sells from a few big names, a few sort of negatives from a few big names, but generally across the board, it is that dark green. Again, it's that Christmas feeling. I'm really starting to feel it. Again, you know, we are a handful of weeks away before Christmas bells start ringing, and we're straight into that festive season again. Now, just quickly showing you guys, there was our sell order from Friday, and again, we looked at that 16,017 for a sell opportunity on NAS. And I'm just quickly having a look at what NAS did there. We were looking at the potential of NAS giving it back some of those gains that we saw. We had that sell opportunity. She went back into entry and then continued to fall for another 1,000 pips or so. So unfortunately, we couldn't hold that whole one out, but it did materialize nevertheless. Now, where do I think we are right now? Where's the market at? Where do I think we're busy going? Again, if you missed last week's video, please go and rewatch it. I'll repin it in the social area. It's a little bit of a bigger forecast of inflation, over what the central governments are busy doing about inflation, what that's doing to the dollar, and where I see things going long term. But in case you missed it and you just want a quick summary, essentially what we spoke about, we focused on, is this dollar index, right? Now last week when we had that video, we had that broadcast, the dollar index was busy making that attempted push there. At that point I said, hey, I'd like to see the dollar index pull back at least into that 103, 104 zone, and it literally did, right? It's almost to the T, slightly through. We got that 103.8, 104, almost on the dot, right? And that means that the dollar index is, basically from my perspective, completed that little bit of a retracement. The only thing I just want to note here is just from a RSI perspective, we are getting that little bit of divergence, right? Meaning that we're starting to see, specifically on this lower end, there are some sellers running out. So I just want to point this out as a bit of a cautionary price action measure here, that we're seeing lower lows on the price action, but we're seeing those higher lows on the RSI and the MFI and some other correlating index, oscillating based indicators. Just a little bit of a word of caution there. However, looking at where things are at, we generally see December is a great month for stocks, right? A great month for Wall Street as a whole. Now, in this week, we are going to be having a special event, right? We're going to be having a special live broadcast on Wednesday. If you're part of Premium Plus, I'm going to be breaking down the last 4 years Decembers, right? What generally happens in the markets? Why do we see such pivotal shifts? Why do we see such big rebalancing of funds? And largely this comes down to the fact that most companies, right, the year end ends generally in the first quarter of the new year. However, that last month of the year being December, there's a ton of rebalancing. They know they've got money to spend. They know that they've got to rebalance some losing, let's say, hedges, some losing stocks, some losing trades, and they're going to re-diversify. So we see a lot of big shifts, and I'm going to be taking you guys in depth detail through those shifts so that we have a plan over December based on the past 4 years worth of data. We may go even further than that, but you want to be a part of Premium Plus. That is going to be a special edition show, and we're going to call that the Christmas Fever, so that we can look at all of these trends that we've seen in the past to try and fully capitalize this December on things that may end up happening as well in the markets. Now, for this week, what am I thinking? I am still extremely bullish on markets across the board. Now, I'm going to talk about US 30 as well as NASDAQ. Now, we're going to be issuing quite a bit of trades specifically around currency, specifically around gold. So I'm not going to be talking about the currency trades yet, because there's a lot that needs to happen. There's about 6 or 7 trades we're looking at that need to pop off. So again, I'm not going to speak about them until they're actually issued. But in the first event, let me quickly just talk about US 100, right? So yes, US 100 has made that beautiful pullback, but I just want to show you where we are in the scale of things. And I'm going to go to a 4-hour, right? We spoke about this a little bit last week. But in essence, the most important thing to note about US 100 is that if we have a look at that high, right, that we had right over there on the 19th of July, right, that absolute high, markets hit that level, broke down, and then we've seen this retracement pretty much until we've seen this latest bull run. We're currently above that previous high, right? That high is also then secondarily represented here on the 15th of November, where we attempted to make that higher high. We failed. We came back above, utilized that exact same level as support. We're now there at the same time, at the same place. So this is a critical moment for US 100, otherwise known as NASDAQ, otherwise known as USA 100, right? Whether we keep support at this level and we continue making momentum towards the top side. Now, again, I will also be having another special training for those of you who already have Golden Nugget V1, right? Golden Nugget V1 as well as Golden Nugget V2, right? We're moving into Golden Nugget V3. Golden Nugget V3 training means we're in the new daylight savings time for this next quarter, right? That will at least run for the next 2 months. Now, Golden Nugget V3, we will be explaining what things to look out for at what times of the morning. What time do we get the ramp in volume? What time do we potentially see the reversal? We've been working very hard on the rules and conditions for that, and I do believe we've got it figured out. However, just as a side note for you, as a bonus for today, please take care and look at what ends up happening at 10 o'clock this morning, right? As with that ramp in volume, I want you just to observe what happens on US 100 as well as US 30 at 10 o'clock. Now, US 30, a very, very similar type of story as what we've just seen with US 100, right? A key level at 88.2 fib level, representing a previous level for us on the US 30. We're currently kind of just almost making support there at the moment, right? Again, doesn't take a rocket scientist to know and or see that this is an important level for the price action on the US 30, otherwise known as Dow Jones, otherwise known as the USA 30. So again, we're going to be monitoring both those levels. Again, golden nugget, you want to pay attention at 10 o'clock. We will be having that special edition show, that will give a lot more info as to what to look out for in terms of those potential breakouts to try and catch those reversals, right? For the time being, for this morning, I can almost forecast that we may end up looking at some sort of price action that may end up developing along the lines of that, right? So a support level, again, this is a 1 minute time frame. So having a look at US 30, we want to just make sure that we don't break down that 353,000. So sorry, 35,329. So 35329. We just want to make sure we don't break through down that. And if we do, that happens at 10 o'clock, we get a raise in ramp in volume that may signal some short opportunities, but a bounce of that area may signal some great buys across the board. In addition to that, we obviously have some rising market structure here that we also definitely want to be aware of, and that may coincide something along that level, right? So we just want to make sure that we are aware of all of these cross sections, all these levels. But again, that's why you've got Drippy Pips. That's why you've got the DVDM Markets social area, so that we have you absolutely covered on all those fronts. Now, again, today we're going to be focusing a lot on currency. We'll be focusing a lot on commodities. So you can expect quite a few trades coming through over there. Monday, obviously, we'll start off a little bit slow, but then we will build up and ramp up on that momentum. Now, just quickly showing you guys some interesting price action from last week in terms of gold, right? Gold we looked at potentially coming into the ceiling, into that $2,000 to an ounce mark, and then potentially retracing back down and looking for some sort of support here. However, I just want to show you that we failed support, and now we're basically retesting this original rising market structure that started rising from the second week in November, right? Now, again, this is a very critical move that we're seeing right there. This is a 30-minute time frame. We saw a little bit of a ramp in volume on gold, specifically at about 3 a.m. in the morning, just after market open this morning. Now, that spike in gold, we can drop down to 15 just to better analyze it. That spike in gold made a big push, pulled down to what I think is just over 50% of that fib level, potentially even a 61.8. There we go, 61.8, and is now starting to rise again. However, I'm very cautious, or curious, should I rather say, over whether we retest this diagonal resistance level from past market structure. There's no other key immediate levels that are on our left hand side that we can really draw reference from, unless we start to look in this area over here. There's not much that's really offering any sort of dynamic support / resistance. I mean, we really have to make a stretch here and look at that level there, which we've already beaten and or surpassed. So again, still very much bullish on commodities, Wall Street, currencies, anything where the dollar is sitting as the quote currency. So remember, XAU USD, the dollar is a quote currency. So very much bullish across the board there. A breakthrough this diagonal market structure will definitely start to signal some very serious buys for us in gold. And then who knows, right? The ceiling could be 2100, 2200, 24, 2500. Early in the year, not even too long ago, you know, we were joking in the leadership group saying that, hey, listen, you know, gold could go to 1850. It did 1850. We then said, okay, it can do 1950. It did 1950. And we were quote unquote saying / joking that gold could do 2050, right? It's not all too far from that 2050 mark. Now, with regards to the leadership group, there were many people I had in different groups, different leadership groups. We had about 60 different leaders across the board, different countries, different skill sets. We decided to shut the leadership groups down in November because the goal for the leadership group is far bigger than just having a group where people just talk about markets, right? Leadership group that I envision is a group that we can empower with individuals, whether it comes down to funding, whether it comes down to guidance, mentorship, business advice, to really set them up. Now, with all the projects we had in terms of social area with regards to Drippy Pips and some of the other business plans and projects that I'm currently running with, there wasn't enough scope to look after and attend to that. I do believe there is now scope as we lead into the new year, and so you will be individually addressed to be considered as a leader for the new leadership group of 2024. Now, what does the leadership group 2024 mean? What does it mean to be a leader? What it means to be a leader is essentially to help you grow not only your understanding in the markets, but your confidence in the markets, to be mentored directly by me, to have direct access to me, to essentially grow. So when you make a mistake, there's somebody here to show you your mistake. When you have a success, somebody to celebrate that success with you, but ultimately to grow a business for you in this particular space. Again, I'm one person, I've got one vision, and I want to look for people who support that vision, who all believe that trading should have integrity linked to it. If you want to learn how to trade right, if you want to learn how to do this thing right, if you want to learn how to market yourself correctly, that's what the leadership group is all about. So that will be kicking off. You're welcome to reach out to me if you feel you've got what it takes and you've got the desire, the capability and the time to be a leader. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. Other than that, I will be restarting it towards the end of this year, starting as of next year. I get a lot of questions about that. Outside of that, guys, I'm so excited for you guys to experience the new Signal service. It'll be rolling out today. Keep your eye on the social area. If you aren't yet already, link is down in the description below. It is absolutely amazing. If you want to get part of Drippy Pips already, then you want to make sure you've got a TD Markets live account, guys. Now listen, if anybody is telling you to sign up with a broker that is an A book or a B book or any other book, right, what you need to understand is they're making money through your profits or through your losses. When you sign up with an STP broker, yes, the spreads aren't the tiniest spreads you're ever going to see in your life, but you're guaranteed that you're sitting in an institutional environment that cares for your longevity. The longer and the better you trade, the better for them, right? An A book or B book environment, all they want you to do is blow your account. They want you to use high leverage. They want you to see tiny spreads so you open up these bigger trades. When you see bigger spreads, you don't open these massive trades because you are aware that is the fee that you're paying in order to participate, right? So you're not with TDM. If you're don't have a TDM Markets Pro account or TDM Markets Gold account, then I promise you, you're in the wrong place. Link down in the description below. Open up that account, get signed up, get sorted. If you need any assistance, reach out to us. Other than that, I want you guys to see the power of the signals today. Let me know your feedback. Drop the love, drop the comments in the new social community. Appreciate you guys as always. Guys, I will be seeing Premium Plus subscribers this afternoon for the Dollars for Lunch session. We're going to look at the US market open. We're going to dive a bit deeper. I'm going to speak about some secrets about December. For those of you in the free environment, I'll be seeing you in the Pounds for Breakfast. The next time I'll see you in a Dollars for Lunch environment will be on Wednesday. So if you want to catch more of those live shows, you don't want to be limited on the trade opportunities, jump into Premium Plus. It is super easy, super simple. Outside of that, guys, as always, much love, be safe, trade safe, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.